Hi, my name is Dave Ledbetter, and I want to welcome you to NiMarco's Pizza. I applaud your decision to come to work for one of the oldest pizzerias in Flagstaff. You know, I got my start in this business in the same position that you're likely starting today. You know, NiMarco's was founded in 1979, and the original building was actually right here in front of me. It was a tiny little kitchen, takeout only. Slices were about 50 cents a piece in 1979. About 4 stools and a picnic table out here. And a couple of years later, the owner at that time decided to tear the shack down and build the building that you see behind me. 8 or 10 years later, that owner sold the business to a fellow by the name of Gary Reed. Gary Reed is the gentleman that I came to work for in 1994. Several years ago, we decided to give the building a facelift, and the patio behind me is the product of that facelift. We pride ourselves in having one of the coolest patios. It's a great spot to sit. As I sit here talking to you now, it's summer in Flagstaff. There isn't a better place to be this time of year. You know, I began my career here at NiMarco's about 24 years ago. It was the summer before my freshman year here at NAU, and I needed a job. So I applied to work here and was hired as a cook. Incidentally, my wife, Angie, also applied to work here at the same time, and she was hired as a cashier. Together, the both of us worked here for several years and became pretty good friends with the owners over the course of time. And my senior year in college, I remember having a conversation with the owner. His name was Gary Reed. He was the second owner of NiMarco's. As I was getting ready to make my departure, I remember saying to him, "Hey Gary, if you decide sometime you don't want to do this anymore, you should give me a call. So I'd love to own this place." Well, wouldn't you know it, about 9 months later, I get a call from Gary, and he says, "Hey, were you serious about that? You really want to own this place?" And I said, "Yeah, sure." So at the age of 23 years old, I found myself the owner of a small business here in Flagstaff, which was kind of a dream come true. I've always worked in the restaurant business. It's what I know. It's what I love. I love people. I love food, and I love the interaction with employees. So that's where my career began.
Hey guys, my name's Tommy Glenn. I tried to go by Tom for a while, but it didn't really stick. I feel like I'm a little bit more of a Tommy. I'm the 4th owner of NiMarco's Pizza, working on my 3rd year of ownership. Couldn't be happier about what's going on at the moment. But let me tell you about where I came from. Grew up originally in the Scottsdale, Central Phoenix area. Came up to NAU for college. Sort of wanted to get away from the riffraff of Phoenix and just try something new. You know, NAU was a great place for me. I loved going to college there. But while I was there, I needed a job. You know, I didn't have a job my freshman year, and my dad calls me one day. He's like, "When are you gonna get a job, Tommy?" And I was like, "All right, it's time to get a job." So I tried a couple things out, telemarketer for a minute, and then had a friend who worked at the pizza shop, NiMarco's Pizza. I went in and was like, "Hey, Nikki, could you get me a job?" And she's like, "Yeah, let me talk to Dave." So I talked to Dave sort of on the spot. I think I was wearing a tank top and I had hair almost down to my shoulders. And for some reason, he gave me a shot. But I basically was a cook from day one. I worked about 1 or 2 days a week and sort of proved to my dad that I had a job up here in college. I think it was 2007 or 2008 when I started. I think there was all of 15 employees, Dave being the ringleader of all of us cooks and cashiers and delivery drivers that were there at the time. Over the course of the years, I sort of, worked a little more often. Right around that same time, he was opening up the new store and he needed a little bit of help. And he's like, "Tommy, you want to be a general manager? You always did a good job at, when you were a manager before." And I told him, I was like, "Dave, I don't know how to be a general manager." And he's like, "Don't worry, we'll work together and we'll figure it out." And that's sort of what we did. Next thing we know, it was 5 years later, and I had been the general manager of the West Side store, and the place became super busy, and NiMarco's became even more of a household name in Flagstaff. And 5 years later, of me being the general manager at the West Side store, Dave and his wife Angie actually popped out a couple kids, and I think it was time for Dave to get a little bit of help. Over the course of time, I kept telling Dave, "Man, I'm never going to leave your side." Dave's just a good guy to work for. I've always sort of looked up to him, and he's been a mentor of mine. and I've always sort of wanted to stay by his side. And you know, right around then, he came up and asked me. He's like, "Hey, Tommy, I know you're thinking about doing some other things, but do you want to become of the ownership group?" And I thought about it for all of a day and a half, and I was like, absolutely. So we're working on 3 years of ownership for myself. I don't think it's ever been better. We're about to open up a 3rd restaurant. We've got some of the best management staff we've ever had. We're looking forward to all the new guys that we've got working for us at the moment.
The fact that you're watching this video right now means that you made the cut. You're one of the chosen few that have come to work for us. You know, we're pretty selective as to who we hire. We try to hire the best of the best, and you made the cut. Congratulations.
Furthermore, just welcome to our family. I hope you enjoy it, and we'll have some good times together.
So on behalf of myself, my wife, and our family, Tommy, Danny, and his ever-growing family, we want to welcome you to our family.
So we're the NiMarco's guys.